Hello, everybody. You can call me Hunch. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, mostly the Stacks ecosystem. We're going to be talking about decentralized identity a little bit and how that relates to Stacks, all sorts of things. Anyway, thank you, members, for joining. I'm going to do like a member video every few videos, maybe intermittently. I'm not sure. So if you do want to become a member, make sure you do subscribe for $2.99 at the on a not on an Apple iOS app, but on a web browser because Apple blocks it. But anyway, this video is going to be uploaded immediately today, and it's a really, really good one. I actually should. This is the video I should have started doing it on because I think it's really, really good information. Remember, not financial advice. I'm just talking about the markets. I'm talking about things that interest me. Just because I talk about it doesn't mean I have interest in it. Doesn't mean I bought it. Doesn't mean I think about it. It just means I'm very, very keen on it. Right. So if you're new here, my thesis is Bitcoin DeFi. I think you should be getting positioned in that. I've been talking about this for almost 6 months now. I've been talking about Bitcoin DeFi for 3 years now, how it's going to explode. And here we are. It has exploded. Now, I talk about other things that aren't necessarily a part of my theoretical portfolio, where I just chill, focus, and wait. And I more would like trade these, pay attention to them, maybe add them if you build conviction in them. So that's where we are. Let's get started. Now, I just want to say the Ordinals users are just like gonna blow up at some time. Everybody is gonna come to Ordinals and the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can see capital flowing out of other chains and into Bitcoin, but they're also flowing into other chains too. I'm not saying that those chains won't do well. I think they will. Absolutely. Oh man, there's so much to talk about. I'm just thinking as I do this video, I wanted to do more on NFTs and stuff. Maybe I'll mention it when we get to the point, but absolutely, Ordinals is growing exponentially. Now, I made a video the other day on why I thought every meme token in Stacks would pump, and it basically went down to this thesis: meme tokens are great marketing tools. I think MERL chain is using it. Avalanche is obviously using it. I'm pretty dissatisfied with MERL chain, even if it pumps. I think they've done some shady stuff, but we'll talk about that later, and you can reference some of my older videos, but feel free. I do encourage you to be in the MERL chain if that's what you want. I personally feel like it's an Ethereum chain and it's not that great, but well, I digress. So I made this video about how it's not just going to be one meme token under Stacks, right? It's going to be all of them, and that has pretty much played out to a T, right? I tweeted this today. My childhood all makes sense now. Welsh, Gus, Leo, Borden, Biddy. Anyway, you slice it, they're all pumping. Let's bring it home, right? So I mean, this just reminded me of this movie so much. Hands down, super funny. But yeah, they are all pumping. I don't know if it's the Stacks DAO organization that's pumping it for marketing, or venture capitalists are marketing it to bring funds in to pump their bags eventually when the market starts pumping. I'm not sure, but it's just a theory, right? I'm just observing the market. It doesn't mean it's happening. It doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean anything like that. These are just my ideas and my thoughts about the situation. Now, I absolutely think it's a bad time to be exiting Welsh. We've had a little bit of a pullback, but this thing has been an absolute monster, right? It's on a centralized exchange, MEXC, I think it is. It's just been growing, consolidating. I think we continue to go higher. It's at 61 million. Absolutely. Could it be the Shiba Inu or the Doge? I don't know, but Stacks has absolutely blown things out of the water. It's up like 900x on the year, 800x, whatever it is. I think we even go higher, and that's just to get to a point where like it's equal to Matic based on market cap of ETH to Matic, or Bitcoin to Stacks, right? I've made videos on this. Absolutely huge opportunity there. Pretty safe in my opinion, right? High beta play on Bitcoin. Now, it's not just sats, right? I tweeted a chart of Borden the other day. This thing absolutely pumped out of its mind, right? I didn't cause it or anything, but I think that it's just, like I said, I think every meme on Stacks is going to pump, right? Biddy pumped. You can't really see it here as well, but this thing is up like 500%. I think both of these are still under $1 million market cap. And I tweeted last night, like, you degenerates are really going to take these things over $1 million, right, in market cap. I absolutely think that could happen if Stacks continues to pump, Welsh continues to pump, right? Now, Leo's had a bit of a pullback, right? I think this is a great time to enter Leo. First of all, I love cats. They've got quantum cats. It seems to be a theme not only with dogs this time. Now, if you're not into Stacks, listen, be my guest. Go into Hoo on the MERL chain. I think this is more of a money grab, VC back. They want to pump this thing. They're trying to pump Voya. I don't think to be honest, I think this is more of like VC trying to pump this to get retail in, to get them hyped. I think a lot of liquidity is eventually going to exit here, but these two have been pumping. Voya, right, which was an airdrop, 27 million. I can't deny that. That's been pumping. And Hoohoo, right? But I do think eventually, if you go look, I can't bring it up. Everything. Oh, here it is. Merlin Chain Hoohoo, right? Elixir absolutely blown out of the water. Hoohoo was up to 12 million. It's now down to 6.3 million. So depending on where you entered and exited, you're either doing very well or you're like absolutely destroyed right now. So I don't hate on it. I've made my point on this, but I think I'd be more inclined to be in the Stacks memes, right, which have been consistently pumping relentlessly. Stacks is clearly a narrative this cycle. Merlin Chain is questionably even a side chain at this point. But be my guest. If you feel like that's the better fit for the meme coin, I would love you to enter that. These are free markets, right? You can't be everywhere. There's opportunity costs everywhere. If you're here versus there. So I absolutely believe, I just want to make it abundantly clear. I should not be telling you what you should be doing with your money. A financial advisor really can advise you, but you are the owner of your money, right? And that's what Bitcoin is all about, right? You own your keys, right? Nobody has the right to tell you what you've worked for, how you want to invest it, right? Granted, it's not horrible for the greater society, right? You're not drunk and driving, all those things. Those are separate issues. I'm just telling you about if you want to invest in any business or chain or idea that you want. I fully believe in your right to do that. Now, I just want to say, Leo is also bullish to me because if you go on Alex and then you hit trade info to go to an external platform, right? You click that, it takes you to Stacks Tools. And Leo is actually building this platform out. And these are really good. Here we have the Stacks chart. We're pushing up on this resistance level right here. I mean, you click this and I can already tell Stacks is going to get ready to pump if Bitcoin is going to get ready to pump. It fell under that line of support. I think it's trying to break through. If it breaks through, I think we go absolutely to the upside. You can see it right here. It's clear as day to me. I'm not going to tell you about the volumes and all that. To me, it's just obvious that Stacks is continuing wanting to run. People are building positions, not just retail building positions with these meme coins. Venture capitalists are going to be entering this as well. And I've made videos about that, right? Alex worth billions of dollars. I talked about how, Wall Street, if they take a bet, they're taking a bet on Alex, right? They're not taking a bet on Av, right? Some of the smaller things may take bets in Ethereum, but the big boys are in Bitcoin, right? I mean, they are going to take a chance somewhere in this. That's my personal opinion. Could be wrong, right? Nobody has a crystal ball. I'm just using my thoughts to come up with predictions, right? Now, I just want to say somebody messaged me today about decentralized identity, trying to be totally transparent. And it reminded me of something that I'm going to be talking about now. And just so you know, like you can see, I talked to ORNJ, Trevor, right? Some of these are founders. They work for companies, Astrox. These are not about getting right deals. These are absolutely about getting information for you guys. I have no sponsorships. I've got no advertising revenue. I am absolutely just trying to get alpha for you. I actively work. So when I say, do you mind signing up for a membership? It's not because I'm trying to take your money, right? It's because I'm literally working. I have a newborn. I have no time. I have a full-time job. I got a business. I got rental property. Like I honestly, like this takes a lot of work. So I'm in all these different groups, right? Telegrams. I'm trying to bring you alpha that's unique, that's interesting, that's focused, that's concentrated. Absolutely. So that's my point there. Trying to be totally transparent with you, right? This one's about getting a Telegram. Trevor, I talked to, right? I don't work for Pizza Ninjas. I talked to him about my ideas. I'm actually trying to help Pizza Ninjas get deals with clothing companies, right? I don't know if anything is going to work out, but that's what I do, right? I want to work and be successful on my own merits rather than like something else. And if somebody gives me a deal, I will tell you about it, right? I will tell you that like I have an interest in this, right? They have actively recruited me to talk about it. I've used the product. And I hope you can depend on me now based on what I did to Merlin, that I'm not just going to take any deal. I have been offered deals from EVM chains, so on and so forth in the past. I have absolutely declined them. I have made $0, right? I will go to core. I'll put my hand on the Bible. I have made nothing so far, okay? Now, I just want to say the other day I was talking about vibes, and I didn't necessarily invest in this, right? This is not part of my thesis, but this is a Stacks token. It's kind of like a LinkedIn type of thing. It was approaching the yellow line. So, right, I was doing this basic TA for you, and it dumped right when it hit that resistance. it is actually going back up now, and I think it will attempt to retest it. Now, whether it breaks through, I don't know. Is this a good investment? Right? Is this part of my theoretical thesis? Absolutely not. I am Bitcoin DeFi. I will tell you if I'm going to add, right? I've told you I've had strong convictions about some data plays, AI, right, with the relatively low market cap for risk reward, but I haven't even added that to my thesis, right? When I tell you I'm going to add something to my thesis, you will know. I will say it explicitly. I will obsess for more than just a couple days. It will be months of obsession about the thing that I'm adding, right? Just like Arkadiko and Alex and Stacks, right? You will absolutely know, right? That doesn't mean I'm not dabbling in gaming. I'm not dabbling in PFP, ordinals collections, right? I'm interested in everything, right? I'm not trying to pick one thing or the other. I'm just saying I think Bitcoin DeFi is a narrative. Now, this higher vibes was pumping, but I also want to talk to you about another conclusion that came from that. So let me read you this. Sometimes I tweet about something and I don't theoretically invest, but I learn from it, right? That's what you should be doing. You're not going to hit everything, right? You can't be obsessed with hitting every pump. Just learn from it. Open your ears. Open your mind, right? It pumped and is pumping again. What would pump next, right? Zero. You have to learn to see these things. So zero is another type of LinkedIn identity type system that I'm going to be talking about today, okay? Now, I couldn't find it on StatScreener or Stacks, what is it called? Stacks Tools, right? But it is on StackSwap, and it is actually pumping 40% today, right? So you can go swap this if you are interested in it. I don't know where I would find the chart, so if you do know, please go. Now, I'm not saying this is going to pump. I don't even know the market caps or the circulation, right? You can calculate that. I don't think this is right, 7 million. It could be right, but this times this, that's what it is. Sometimes these things like on CoinGecko, the circulation and the prices are wrong and so on and so forth. So definitely interesting. Go look at this because Vibes is pumping. This is pumping again. Now, if you go look, I just want you guys to take notice. This is actually from Zero, one of the programmers or the people involved in it, right? And all these people are joining this gig marketplace. But I want you to take notice of this PIP, right? PFP, right? A lot of these people have ninjas or avatars, right? And they're joining this thing. It's not like a LinkedIn portfolio. Some of it is, right, where they have, but a lot of it is anonymous, right? They want to just work anonymously, right? A cat, right? So what's important to notice about this, right, is when I told you about, let's see if I can get to it, right? This guy was talking about decentralized identity. I'm not going to make a conclusion about decentralized identity, right? A lot of people in Cardano were obsessed about identity, an identity program in Africa. I'm not convinced that that's not a tool for the government to surveillance people, so on and so forth yet. But I do think what is a natural progression of decentralized identity is anonymity and keeping your PFP as a reputation indicator, right? Everyone knows these ninjas are like anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000 to $15,000, right? Dollars a piece, right? And everyone knows if you have a punk, if you have Bored Ape, right? You have been moderately successful. So I'm not saying it's about success or not success, but I'm saying is people use indicators all the time to identify someone reputable, not reputable, someone worth money, somebody not worth money, right? I mean, that's the whole argument behind Trump, right? He's a businessman. Let's elect him, right? So on and so forth. I'm not saying I'm pro-Trump. I'm not against Trump. But decentralized identity is more than just saying who you are, right? It's your reputation. And that's what I think is so interesting about Zero, right? I talked to this guy personally, and I don't know if I brought it up here, but it's all about not just your identity, identifying who you are as a person, right? Maybe your social security number or your date of birth or your name, but your actual reputation. What have you done from work? Is it on-chain? Is your work on-chain? Has someone, stated that you did this into completion, the smart contract executed, and you got paid? That, to me, is a much more reputable source of identity than something like Angie's List or like a rating system. Like when you go buy something from a seller on Amazon, right? If you had a decentralized anonymous ID with a PFP, to me, and you could validate on-chain what you've done, your shipping statistics, your work, right? What you've built. You can check them on the internet, who they are, all these different things. To me, that's a much more better and more transparent system while maintaining your anonymity. I know that's conflicting, right? Transparent while maintaining anonymity. I can't say that way. Anonymity, but that's the point, right? Now, I think he said, please go check out Zero Authority DAO for Twitter updates. I actually have talked personally to these people. I've done an interview with them, right? I'm not saying interview is work. It's fun, but that is part of the work that I'm doing. I'm trying to present these ideas to you and get information. Now, I did that interview, 6 months to a year ago, and I'm just talking about this. That's why it's important when I say something to you, all right, I think it's a little more credible than everyone else, because as soon as I hear something, it doesn't mean I'm jumping on board, right? Something like Merlin. I may jump on board on Merlin, but I'm still watching it. I still have my hesitations. When I first heard about this, these developers could have walked away right away. Astrox, they can definitely walk away with that, less than $1 million market cap. So I'm trying to bring you authentic things that aren't going to be a rug pull, pretty much. Okay, now this is just, I just want to reiterate, my PFP is a ninja. So, I hope that plays into my identity a little bit. I'm bringing you good information. I'm trying to do a little more research. I'm thinking thoughtfully about everything I'm talking about, right? Because it's not about just buying this. It's about who you associate with, right? I'm associating with founders, clubs, ideas, thoughts, right? It doesn't make me want to keep people away from me or make me exclusive or whatever. I just want to be associated with a good process, a good idea, a good thought. Even if I miss something, right? I want to present to you that I'm being authentic, right? And that's why I think these PFPs and Zero and Vibes is something very important to pay attention to in terms of decentralized identity. Now, on other chains, it could be something else. Who knows? But I digress. Now, I want to talk about Arkadiko for the last part. This Signal 21 just came out. Shout out to the VC firm. I can't remember. I think it's like Gross or Goss or something who came up with this. But please go check it out. It's good data. And the people who are doing this thing are talking about a lot about Arkadiko. And I'm huge, absolutely huge on Arkadiko. If you go to the website, you can sign up and get a premium access. But if you go to Arkadiko, right, if you look at all the stats, right, price, pooling of the USDA, transaction fees, pool volume, what is it? Total value locked, stack. Oh, that's stacks only. Is that going down? That's not a good sign. Token. So that may be going down. I don't know. I have to interpret that. I don't think that doesn't make sense to me. Token holders going parabolic. Cumulative unique wallets going parabolic. Pool price, Diko stacks going parabolic. Pool volume going up and to the right. Those are all the metrics you want to see, right? Exacting supply. So this one you actually want to go down, I think. Right. So, but go check this out. You want to see these graphs, right? Even if you can't interpret everything like I can't, right? I'm just quickly glancing this. I haven't reviewed it. You want to use this data a little bit to guide your decision. I am a huge bull on this, not because of this data even. I'm not even taking into account. It's because I'm thinking about stacking DAO. The total value locked in stacking DAO, which is a liquid protocol for getting stacks, putting it in vaults to get USDA, using collateral, so on and so forth, putting it into pools in different protocols like Bitflow and getting airdrops, so on and so forth, is absolutely, hands down, exploding. And that is evidenced by Alex coming up with a liquid staking called Lisa, too, and Lido Finance on Ethereum, and so on and so forth. Now, you can get points. Don't forget, connect your wallet. Total users, 24,000. Wow, that's a lot. And, oh, wow, there's a leaderboard with all the wallets, right? That's interesting, kind of make it a competitive thing. But to me, absolutely need to be paying attention. Chill, focus, and wait in a lot of these things. All these other memes and stuff I'm talking about because I think you can make interesting plays, but I am so convicted in this, I just can't explain it. Obviously, can go to zero, but super low market cap for Bitcoin DeFi, right? Sovereigns over 100 million. I think this is a huge opportunity, so I'm going to continue to talk about it. Anyway, you can call me Hunch. I've got a hunch. Stacks memes, decentralized identity. Pay attention to it, not making it part of an active portfolio. And but definitely paying attention to it. Low market cap. I think this is a natural progression. Going to do more on PFPs. I think there's interesting markets going around here, right? I haven't talked about things like, is it Palladium or I can't remember, but there's basically a new progression for Bitcoin DeFi, and that's going to be NFT loans. So Liquidium on Bitcoin, there's some things on ETH that I've recently looked into that I may or may not be theoretically getting into. So I suggest you do your own research on that. Not going to talk about it yet because I'm not convinced in the protocols, but massive gains can be made in those. So if you're just taking advice where to do your own research or your homework, I suggest you go to NFT lending for liquidity, getting loans, putting them in vaults, so on and so forth. There's things like Emblem Vault. Absolutely imperative that you start going to look into that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing more research for you. Anyway, if you want to become a member, please do. I'd love to have you. I try to answer all your questions. I will be releasing videos a day early, maybe 2 days early. I don't know. I'll switch it up. Anyway, you can call me Hunch. I got a hunch. It's huge, baby, and it's everything in stacks, decentralized identity. But the main thesis remains Bitcoin DeFi. Chill, focus, and wait.